Welcome, people. The wheel weaves as it will, and the Dragon Reviewed has returned. We're back to review The Wheel of Time Season 2, Episode 7. I'm Cam Clark. That's Christine and Kyle Malone. I'm sure you can work out which ones are which. Hi, guys. How you doing?
What's up?
I don't know, because my brother dated a girl named Kyle.
Although there is
I've
a feminine version of my name. It's Kylie.
And yeah, that one I've heard.
It exists. So why would you do that to your poor daughter?
I don't know.
It's very popular in the late 80s.
Why?
They had all boys.
Yeah. Why would you name your boys Kyle anyways? I mean, we're all just gonna grow up and punch drywall and chug freaking Monster, right?
No.
Is that
you ever seen the convention of Kyles?
Yeah.
Is that the Kyle Karen thing?
Oh yeah. There's a whole meme. You don't remember George Carlin about people named Kyle? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah. Wheel of Time. That was a different leg in the wheel.
Talking about the Wheel of Time and how it revolves round and round, so does the GenreVerse and the LRM online website. Kel, tell us a bit about why the people should tune in and what else we've got on the channel.
Well, we got a lot of content here on the GenreVerse YouTube channel, including anime reactions, which we were just talking about before we started a podcast covering everything in geek, pop culture, entertainment. If it's not a reaction video, all of our podcasts, including this, what you're watching or maybe listening to, go up on your favorite podcast app. So leave us give us a follow there, leave us some comments, reviews, whatever you can do. LRMonline.com for written news and reviews, including Cam Clark's written reviews of shows like The Wheel of Time and Ahsoka. And hey, we do have some merch, so there's a Redbubble link in the description box below. Check that out.
Great. So let's just get straight into it. Episode 7. Christine, you can start. What just general thoughts and grade?
I was just going to say that it feels really good to be right because it doesn't happen enough. And the nephew is, well, okay, then I won't do that. But it was just like, as soon as you're about to get to me, I'm like, yeah, that's right.
No, I mean, we're full spoilers now, so you can just get right
true.
in it.
Yeah.
You can just get right in it, yeah.
I don't know what to give it yet, an A or an A+, because it's like all these pieces coming together and it felt really good. But yeah, the nephew, he's not gonna get married, and it's like I knew it. So it's just like some of those things also where it's like you kind of seem shady, and then there it is. It's like I knew it. So yeah, it feels good to be right. It's usually him. So yeah.
So
I loved all the pieces.
Yeah, you're somewhere between what, an A and an A+, then, kind of thing. Well, that's pretty good still.
Hopefully I've got all of our review here. I've got the backup recording, so that's good. OBS wasn't recording at first, so now the audio will likely sound different. Anyways, I give it a solid A. I really enjoyed this episode. There's a few parts where it's like, you're slowed down this good pacing, but there's a lot of drama, an appropriate amount of action, and I really dug Egwene again, being like, bitch, I will kill you.
yeah, I like that little touch just to show she's not completely broken yet, you know what I mean? It's like, no, there's still that little glimpse there. I will fucking kill you if you give me half the chance.
and then we also see that the Sanchan, is that how you say it?
Sawan Sanchan. Yeah, Sawan is her first name.
No, just the group, that people.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you mean the Sanchan? Yeah. Sorry. Woof. Brain melt moment there. Yeah. Sanchan.
So they're not the only slavers. It turns out that Aes Sedai can be made into literal slaves as well, which was a man. As someone who holds individual liberty of utmost importance to like a ridiculous amount. The idea of someone purple manning me like that, oof, no.
Especially that being like, I can imagine it's you two, doing that to each other, and that's that extra,
that's even
just
grosser.
A little bit worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Even worse. So yeah, I think it's a solid A episode.
Cool. I was an A-. I had a couple of issues with, not issues, that would be wrong, a couple of adaptation things which I hope go a certain way. And if they do go that way, then I think it could be good writing, and I would have gave this an A+. But if there's some things go away that it could also go, then I would be a little bit less favourable on this episode in terms of some of the changes they've made. But overall, I don't have any specific complaints about the episode itself. It's kind of more just book fanny kind of stuff. So let's just get straight into what was good this week. Who wants to go first?
Egwene, man, like everything about her arc has been really good and fun, even though it's been dark and terrible. Seeing her freaking, show a little bit of what she's capable of, even though it's basically feeding the other chick, was really cool. Her blasting everyone away, and I was like, man, is this where she tries to make her escape? Because we know she's about to just let it go. And then, like I said, looking her in the face and being like, bitch, I will kill you. I was like, yeah.
I know. It's like you had one moment. You didn't have a lot of time, really to break her down and not deeply. So it's like that whole, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like the like, was it the rod and the carrot or the
oh yeah,
where it's like you just threatened her.
Carrot,
yeah, that's it. And you're just like, you're threatening her, like, kind of like that, don't you dare embarrass me, I want you to be the best. And it's just like, and then later on, like, oh, let me wash your hands all nice. Like, oh my God, I cannot wait till you get your comeuppance.
Sometimes it's good when we hate characters, isn't it? And we hope for them to get bad things to happen to them. Let's pray something bad happens to them. But we shall see. Go.
And I think a lot of the drama around Moraine, of course, was good. Stuff, of course, with the Amelin Seat lady. I forget her name that they can use. Sawan, there you go. I like the stuff revolving around there, but man, Sister continues to be like a freaking literal kingmaker, would be kingmaker now. But I love how she is so in a way of need of control, not necessarily unhealthy, but probably, but that she doesn't even trust her own son, and maybe she doesn't trust the Aes Sedai as much. That's what I meant.
I have something to say to that when you're done.
Okay. But she's like untrusting enough of one or both of them in that room to go and listen in, and showing that she knows, even though Moraine is this awful person to them directly, she's also working to make sure that they will be alive, and not just them but others. I've really enjoyed that whole arc, and what do you got?
With the way that he was interacting with his mother, like the commanding, it's like, I don't know, like, if she's ever experienced that, but
Set
just
her
like
off.
where it's like something's not right.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just a lack of trust, just more
That's true.
Alarm bells going off. What exactly is going on, because you are acting fishy. So yeah.
And he turns out to be the complete spineless worm that he looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, he does in the end. Obviously we don't know exactly what kind of deals he's made or anything like that, but the fact that he has made some kind of deal with the dark, if you like, is pretty clearly laid out there. So what do you think happens to him next? Do you think he gets away? Do you think that's him just, he's in prison now? What do you think will happen there?
I think he's just going to stay in prison for right now. I don't think he's anything special. He's just a chess piece.
You think it's almost like that,
and not a big
part
one.
of the story's ended? He's moved off the board for the moment.
For a while at least, but I mean, he's not. I don't think he's going to be anything big, especially now that cat's out of the bag.
Right.
Gotcha.
If it would depend. They might try to silence his mom, and if they do that, then they can try to let things go through. But what would be the point? I'm almost with Christine, in where it's like, I don't see a use for him, and therefore I don't think anyone would try to save him. But I'm also aware that, they hid his agenda pretty well, and that there might be an additional use for him. So if there is, they got to get rid of the sister. Either way, the mom, his mom, Moraine's sister, either she dies or he dies. I don't see both of them living.
I think he dies because it's like if she actually was truthful with her wording and said that she's already, let them know.
That's true.
It's just like
then he's probably dead because he's useless, but he's a liability.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What implications could this have for Liandrin as well? Because clearly the mum, the sister Anavia, knows it was Liandrin that gave this message, so that's knowledge that she has at the moment as well.
Yeah, I think they're already onto her, but they kind of want to leave her there right now and not say anything just yet.
Keep your enemy close kind of situation.
Exactly. They're like, we need to see how deep this goes. So I'm thinking that's why they kept her in, because my God, is her acting terrible when she's... Well, the actress is great, but the character is not. Yeah. So I think it's just like now she's in big trouble because it's like, obviously if
she's
the son's locked up.
She's in panic mode now. Well, does she know he's been locked up yet?
I'm sure she'll find out.
She might not know yet, but when she does, she's gonna be panicked. And it almost makes me wonder if mommy, dearest, or whatever, just joking, if his mom, if she will try to use the knowledge against Liandrin, which might not be a smart idea. That might get her killed, thinking she's got an upper hand, but might not have it enough. I don't know. Does it cause her to run to the other side fully and like ask for their protection? I don't know. Or maybe she reveals that there's more than just her and she's able to tactically withdraw to some point where her and some other black Aja, did I say that right?
Sort of like regroup type situation.
Yeah. Maybe she reveals part of some, network and gets away that way.
Well, she needs to get out of town because crap keeps happening, and I don't know. I know, some of the pieces on the board have moved, but still it's like after 2, like, I think I should go somewhere else. Let me just, go on vacation or something.
And I guess another one would be Varen must not be exactly in good, in terms of Swan Sand. She can't exactly have Varen in her good books at the moment because she must know that Varen's done that and helped, them all escape to get to that point in the first place, as well as then Moraine, Lan, and I guess Rand is a slightly kind of different situation. Do you think she thinks they're all bad as well?
No,
I don't think so. I don't know.
Going through a way gate
I want to say that she's going to be like, it's part of the plan. No, she'll probably overreact. Would it really be overreacting? I mean, they had a legit fight and she's walking away with a Forsaken. So, she'll probably assume
see how
the
it
worst.
Could be misread. Although we as the audience know that, the history of what's led us up to that point, that, Moraine's not in league with Lanfear or anything like that, but Swan doesn't know that.
No. Nope. It's gonna be one of those interesting ones to see played out, but we've only got one more episode left, so.
That's the thing, I mean, where do you think we're kind of going next? And I guess we'll get to that. Any kind of bads or any beef, if you like, this week with the episodes?
The stuff with the Supreme Daughter redheaded chick and
Elaine, the queen, daughter of Andor.
There you go. Her and Nynaeve. Say the name for me, please. Nynaeve. Thank you. Her and Nynaeve are their whole story, because it's only these really tiny chunks, and it's almost like there wasn't a lot for them during the parts of the book that are written, but you can't ignore them. I almost feel like they should have made it, and it may have messed with the timeline of things, but since there's so little in between some of these episodes, it feels like it kind of stops the pacing of some other stuff that's way more interesting because we're getting more of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is an actual fix for that. but it does kind of suck for me. The whatever they did with Moraine and Swain, Swan, there we go. Moraine and Swan at the beginning with the what looks like Instagram filters and just regular heavy makeup. It looked like they were softened quite a bit. It didn't. Yeah. It didn't look like regular de-aging or anything.
Well, because these are it's magic, isn't it? So it's a little bit different because they're supposed to be way older than they currently look, aren't they? They're not in their 30s.
And that was the other thing they said, like 20 years ago.
That was 20 years ago. Yeah,
you guys try to make them look a lot younger than just 20 years, because that's my thinking was like they're
they age differently.
Nigh immortal. You know what I'm saying? Like they age differently. So 20 years, would they have really looked that different?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
So
I guess that's a
but I found the effect a little off-putting. Christine thinks they were on someone else's bodies at that too.
Yeah, it seemed like the bodies seemed like much smaller frame. So
either
I wonder if
they
to give them a youthful
Captain America'd her.
Yeah, like
right.
that. That's what I mean, like where they put her face on someone else. Anyway,
again, could tell you, I guess, about the show. Yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, we get the prophecy and kind of what prompted them to do all that in the first place, and we saw it kind of linked in with that blood snow event that we saw. In other words, Rand's birth. That happened specifically. So you can kind of see why they've been pushed down this path, at least if nothing else. But yeah, really interesting relationship changes between them in the series. Not necessarily always something that comes in from the books, but I like it. I think it's a well-written story at the moment. I'm really kind of enjoying it. Any beef from your end? Anything that's different, Christine? Anything that kind of gave you pause for concern?
Like, I found it confusing with Matt, with what he was drinking and his freak out. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll go more into detail with the next episode, but his little trip didn't seem as intense as he was acting it out. So it just seemed kind of, I was like, really? Okay. And then
that one myself at the moment, but it's like one of those ones where we need to see where it goes. I don't know where it goes next, so maybe it'll all kind of make a little bit more sense. What I would say is that, I wouldn't believe everything that Ishmael tells him, because, he literally calls himself the father of lies at some points, so he's not somebody that's always going to tell the truth. But that's not me talking from a book point of view, because this is different from the book. So that's just my opinion of where it could go next, and that's my kind of thought process, is that I wonder if he's not really telling him the truth in terms of what we will actually experience. But it's hard to say.
Like maybe
so it was a bit
maybe
weird.
that tea is more like kind of like digging into deep fears instead of it actually being truth. I don't quite know.
Maybe that's possible.
Yeah, so we'll
could be that he's telling him one thing but desiring to get a completely different effect from him in some ways.
Yeah, maybe manipulating him in the process.
So we do have just one episode left. So, finale. There's always got sorts of stuff's going to happen in order to get us to the starting point of where we need to be for season 3, which is filming at the moment. It's been filming for quite some time. So what happens next week, guys? Any ideas?
I don't know, because it doesn't feel like there's a confrontation. I think probably next week we'll focus on rescuing Egwene. I mean, Rand's going there. He's supposed to write his name across the sky so he can be announced on both by prophecy and on the terms that, Moraine has in mind now that she knows some stuff. And now that she's got the one power back, that's really I think we're gonna go see the prophecy play out, and that's our big cliffhanger. What does that look like? Fire across the sky, and is he good, bad, crazy, not, with Lanfear, not? I think somewhere that's where next episode is that's the big event for this season.
Do you
Yeah,
think
like we can
that,
just.
oh, sorry, on you go.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, you just only hope that everyone gets back together and is able to, sneak away before she does anything that, you know, could be really bad. But I get the feeling like it's gonna go in that direction. I'm just, hoping everyone stays intact, you know.
No big major deaths. You're not ready for any big major
Exactly.
deaths at this moment in time.
Yeah.
You never
Sweet
know.
people.
I guess one thing I would say is I'm kind of not sure that that we've had 4 people go into that Waygate. I'm not sure we'll get 4 people coming out of that, because I think
such a big deal
Latvia
about that
could do
last
something
season.
to ditch the other 2 at some point and like send them somewhere else. I just can't see her going like, okay, you 2 come along with us. I just kind of think at some point she's going to go, bye bye, see you later, or something like that. But who knows? Again, we are in kind of virgin territory here when it comes to the books. It's a little bit different, so it's not as if I know what's going to happen apart from a few details.
They made those tunnels, those travel paths seem so much more dangerous and epic and whatnot in season 1, and now it's like, we just need to get somewhere. It's time to use one. I don't know if they do get used that much in the book or not, but
that's a little beef I've got. It's a little bit of a beef I've got with that, because it was exactly as it was in the books in season 1, and now they seem to be using it as a fast travel option a little bit too often. And there was other fast travel options
pressing R2
in the books that they have decided maybe to cut. I don't know, but there's other ways to travel fast that they've kind of just so far cut from the show. So I guess that's how they're using it, to get people to go where they need to fairly quickly. But yeah, the other thing is they don't seem to have a thing against, like in the books, if you channel inside the ways, it attracts that wind towards you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't discriminate between good, evil, or anything like that. So, like Liandrin managed to go through the ways, shielding the 3 girls the whole way, so that's channeling all the time, if you like. And she never gets attacked. And then, I don't know. Maybe they've just changed that for the show because they knew that they had to make it a fast travel option, so they decided to make it slightly less dangerous that you could channel inside to kind of save yourself. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Any other big theories? What's going to happen to Matt? Is he going to go bad? Is he going to become good? Is he going to...
I think he might be, like we've mentioned during season 1, the redeemed tragic hero, guy that teeters between the two, but when it comes time, he chooses the right. But
you think he'll eventually choose the light side?
I think so. I mean, the idea of wanting time to stop, basically, and the cycle to stop, and people to their spirits to be able to rest, essentially, by no more churning is enticing,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Like, do you think that's an interesting motivation for the bad guy, if you like?
I think it's a cool motivation. I've seen it in some other stories, and it always works well. It's kind of like the Highlander, even, the grand prize at the end of all the fights is mortality. The opportunity to finally grow old, die, and stay dead. So it's always a fun thing to play with, because most humans, most of the time, it's the exact opposite. It's, no, I want to live forever and ever, because death is a scary thing for most of us. But then when you really start thinking about the horrors of living forever, especially if your loved ones don't too, so.
Or if it's like death becomes her and you have to be careful with your body.
In this case, it's obviously a reincarnation thing, and reincarnation would be fine as long as you don't know about it, but if you kind of could remember all the stuff from previously, it would be a bit of a bummer, wouldn't it? Which
and if stuff's still to be able to carrying over, and people are still obsessed with past lives and stuff, to where you
like
can't...
getting Rand's situation, he's got all this thrust upon him just because his soul's been reborn into this new body. Like, did I ask for any of this? No, I did. I fuck.
Nope.
So okay.
Yep.
All done. Anything else that you guys want to say about episode 7? Looking forward to episode 8.
That's good. Yeah,
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think
look
there's
forward to
anything
that one.
else.
I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for watching if you were. Thanks for listening if you were listening as well. I've been Cam, that's been Christine, that's been Kel, and that's what we thought of The Wheel of Time, Episode 7, Season 2. Please tune in next week. We'll be covering the finale as well. Any last words, guys?
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you ever get interested in writing for us or anything like that, give us a shout. You'll find all our details on the usual link. So just go to lrmonline.com as well. See you next week.
Bye.